come to my attention that some fans of Star Wars are worried about the upcoming Star Wars 7. I, on the other hand, I am positive that it will be fantastic. Why am I so certain? Because of the people involved. Because I trust the man in the directing chair. And because this is the last chance for Disney to make a good Star Wars movie. If this movie isn't good, there will be riots in the streets, and I will be part of it. They know that if they screw up, they will make half of the population want to commit suicide. So, why come back if they don't have a good game plan already settled, already prepared? They must have a plan, or else they will have never touched the franchise and left it where it was, dead. Here are some points that I have made that I believe will make a good Star Wars movie, and in my opinion, are already in motion. Number 1. Good characters. The original trilogy is filled with great and memorable characters that we all know and love that had amazing chemistry with one another. They were almost our friends. We cared about them when they were in terrible situations that they needed to get out of. Think of Luke at the end of Empire Strikes Back. We laughed with them when they were cracking jokes or insulting each other. Think of Han and Leia. In the prequels, the characters are bland and stoic, and most of them don't have much personality. The chemistry between Anakin and Padme is almost unbearable to watch. Every line is awfully delivered, and you don't really care about their relationship. What we need are people that we can identify with, sympathize with, and experience the journey with. Now, with the script written by Michael Arndt, who wrote Little Miss Sunshine and Toy Story 3, I think we will get that in Episode 7. Maybe not 100% like the original trilogy was, but close enough. And J.J. Abrams knows how to get people to care for a character. One of the best examples is in the show Lost. Lost is filled with a bunch of different characters that each have a different personality that makes you either hate them or like them. Each of them stand out and each of them matter. And I am sure that it will be the same for Star Wars Episode 7. Number 2. Less use of CGI and more of practical effects. One of the best parts of the original trilogy was that it had a good balance of CGI and practical effects. The prequel trilogy, however, is nothing but CGI, which makes the environment around the actors look fake and lifeless. I think that J.J. Abrams has a good sense of where to draw the line in between the two, since Star Trek had a great balance of CGI and practical effects. Even Mark Hamill came out recently and stated, "I said to George that I wanted to go back to the way it was, in the sense that ours was much more carefree and lighthearted humorous, in my opinion, anyway. Hope they find the right balance of CGI with practical effects. I love props, I love models, miniatures, painting. I'm sort of old school. I think if you go too far in the direction of CGI, it winds up looking like just a giant video game. And that's unfortunate. If they listen to me at all, it'll be lighten up and go retro with the way it looks." I 100% agree with Mark's statement, which is one of the reasons why I love him. If there is too much CGI in the movie, then it will look like a giant video game that won't feel real or exciting. It needs to find a thin line between the two and merge them together. Like I said before, I think that J.J. Abrams will make the right choice. Like so many of us, he grew up with Star Wars and knows what a good Star Wars movie means. Number 3. A good story. The story is one of the most important aspects of the original trilogy. There was a real sense of adventure and excitement that gave audiences wonders and amazement. We journeyed to different worlds out into the uncharted realms of space. Whether it was Tatooine, Hoth, the City of the Clouds, or Endor, we journeyed with our heroes and experienced the things they've experienced. We were on the adventure with them, discovered things with them, traveled with them. The prequel trilogy had some interesting elements, like Anakin Skywalker spending his childhood on the same planet than Luke, Jango Fett's clone army, and the battle between Anakin and Obi-Wan and the Emperor versus Yoda. But other elements were awful, like the infamous Jar Jar Binks, the midichlorians, Anakin's building, C-3PO, why did that need to happen, and the endless discussions of politics that had nothing to do with Star Wars. Episode 7 needs to have a clear and simple story from the get-go and central characters that we care about and root for. A lot of people think that will have to do with Luke and Leia's enhanced kids. Luke will play a mentor of sorts like Obi-Wan Kenobi, and will lead a new Order of the Jedi against a new threat. That sounds like the kind of Star Wars movie that I want to see. Some people feel like the original cast are too old to return. Remember Harrison Ford in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull? That's a good argument. But I don't think that the original cast will be the central characters in the movie. We just need to see them for the first 15 to 20 minutes, have them pop in and out. Harrison Ford even admitted himself that Han Solo was supposed to die in Return of the Jedi. But George Lucas felt that Han Solo action figures wouldn't sell as well if the character was dead. Wouldn't it be cool to have Han's kid, who is supposed to turn to the dark side in the books, murder Han Solo directly at the beginning of the movie? Just imagine how awesome would that be. Well, there is just some of the reasons why I believe that Star Wars 7 will be amazing. Maybe not as great as the original trilogy, but cool. I feel that with the talent involved and the risk that Disney took, I believe that they have something mapped out that will truly be something special. Let's hope for our sake anyway. Well, there you have it guys. Here was just how I felt of the upcoming Star Wars trilogy. Leave your comments below, subscribe, and let me know how you feel about Star Wars 7.